Might be a keeper there. Yeah. There we go. Just a chunk, man. I mean.
What's up, guys? Jake Whitaker here. Some of my favorite fishing is right around the corner, and that is the shad spawn. And I want to talk to you guys about how I approach it, how I find it, and how I break it down. Two of my favorite baits starting out is obvious, is any kind of topwater lure. Where I'm from in the south, we've got a lot of herring. Chrome works great, but again, any of your shad style baits, your walking topwaters, your pop-Rs, whatever suits your style, you can choose and catch fish on the shad spawn. I like to throw my topwaters mostly on points and down rock walls and sea walls and things of that nature. Again, I'm throwing it right up on the bank. I'm looking for those active fish that are feeding on those shad that are up there spawning. And some people ask, like, how do I know I'm fishing a shad spawn? Well, a lot of times you will either physically see the shad spawning, coming up, flipping around, rubbing themselves on each other, on the walls, on the bank, on docks, sea walls, whatever it may be. You will actually see those shad kind of swirling around in a big ball. That's when you know that the shad spawn is happening, and you know, I'm reaching for those topwaters that time. Again, another bait that is super effective is, again, just a chatterbait, a bladed jig. I go for the white. Obviously, I'm looking for that shad pattern. Again, I'm throwing it basically the same places I'm throwing my topwater, but a lot of times, sometimes, that those fish are so keyed in on the shad, they don't, you know, that's almost like they're not paying attention to that topwater bait. So if that's the case, I'll switch over to a chatterbait, spinnerbait. It's an awesome bait to search and to actually find a shad spawn. A lot of times you can throw this bait around and you'll actually see shad following your bait back to the boat, and that, again, that's a great indicator that you're in the middle of a shad spawn. This is a ALX rods toad face, 7'2" medium heavy action rod, 15-pound P-line, tactical fluorocarbon, half-ounce chatterbait, docks, seawalls, riprap, and then my topwater is mostly on points, kind of open water stuff. But guys, you can switch up. There's a lot of baits that work great in the shad spawn, but topwater and chatterbaits are my go-to baits. So when you've been catching all these fish for the first 30 minutes or even the first hour of the morning, and then all of a sudden it dies on you, you may ask yourself, did these fish just swim away, or are they gone, or you know, what's my next step? So when that happens to me, I go finesse. I pull out my shaky head and my, you know, I say finesse, but I will pull out a half-ounce jig and kind of slow down and pick those areas apart. Yes, those fish are probably not actively feeding on those shad, but they're still hanging out. They're going to be on that, you know, the first available cover away from where they were up chasing those shad. So I will pull out my shaky head, jig, Nico rigs, things like that, and I can usually slow down and pick another, you know, 1 or 2, 3 fish off of, you know, out of an area. So when things stop, when all the action is gone, don't give up on that area. Pull out your shaky heads, your finesse gear, and pick that area apart. I think you'll be surprised about what you can come up with. But I think these tips will help you a lot in the shad spawn. Again, this is a fantastic time to be fishing. Those good warm mornings, the first really warm mornings that we've had for the summer, are, you know, when the shad spawn really starts to shine.